This is the introductory class, or you can consider it as the first chapter of class 11 science. Class 11 science physics. Before we begin, I would like to give you a brief description of physics course structure of class 11 science. Now this year's course structure is similar to the last year. Here we will have in theory total 70 marks. We will have two books. First book will be considered as part 1 and the next book is part 2. We will have total 15 chapters. First chapter is physical world. Now today we will discuss physical world briefly. Physical world. Now in this chapter physical world, the word physical is very important here. Physical is something which is not imaginary. Physical is something which you can feel with your senses, which you can measure, mind it. So a physical world is very real and very interesting. Now if you ask me what is physical, what we can measure and what we cannot measure, I can give you one example that length, weight, height you can measure, but you cannot measure emotions. You cannot measure dream. So they are not physical. So let me come into this chapter. One kind of response from the earliest times has been to observe the physical environment very carefully. Look for any meaningful patterns and relations in natural phenomena and build and use new tools to interact with nature. This human endeavor led in course of time to modern science and technology. Now if you ask me what is natural phenomena, I am giving you some example. Natural phenomena are like, this is cloud. Out of your cave, what you can see thunderstorm. This is thunder. This is another cloud. Out of your cave you can see rain. You can see day and night. You can see twinkling of stars and so many. So these are the physical phenomena. Now we will talk about little bit about science. The word science originates from Latin verb. What is it? Latin verb scientia. S-C-I-E-N-T-I-A. Scientia, which means to know, to understand. In Sanskrit, this is known as Vigyan. Okay. So Vigyan means knowledge. So what is science? Science, in a single word, you can say that to acquire knowledge Science is a systematic attempt to understand this natural phenomena in as much detail and depth as possible, and to use the knowledge gained to predict, modify and control this phenomena. Science is exploring, experimenting and predicting from what we see around us. Now, physics basically have two domains: macroscopic domain and microscopic domain. Macroscopic, which includes, sense you can say, that which we can see in naked eyes. Microscopic, which is very small, you cannot see with naked eyes, that is microscopic. Classical physics, mechanics, electrodynamics, optics and thermodynamics will come into macroscopic. And in microscopic domain of physics, which deals with the constitution of structure of matter at the minute scale of atoms and nuclei and their interaction with electrons, photons and other elementary particles. Classical physics is inadequate to handle this domain. Classical physics can handle macroscopic domain but inadequate to handle microscopic domain. So to handle microscopic domain, quantum theory is currently accepted as the proper framework for explaining microscopic phenomena. Overall, the edifice of physics is beautiful and imposing, and you will appreciate it more as you pursue this subject. We will discuss the next chapter in the next video. Thank you.